Why it is so difficult to change alone. Hi, I am 𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀. I am a therapist, a trainer, and a coach. This is the tutorial number 0 and serves as an introduction to our sessions in Berlin or online about self-love, love in the relationships, and the meaning of life. This video is a form of review for our customers in Berlin or online. If you are not one of them and you like the content of this video, you can help us to produce more videos by making a PayPal donation. We will put in the link in the comments. Let's see why it is so hard to change on your own. We have 3 main reasons. The first of them is the comfort zone. It is very difficult for you to leave your comfort zone alone. We all naturally tend to spare our energy, which means that we try to keep ourselves in an area where we are safe, where everything or a lot is predictable and can be repeated. This is done precisely for a reason of energy saving. A new situation, a new change will lead to a whole process of adjustment that energetically is very stressful. So paradoxically, one prefers to remain in the old, perhaps unsatisfying or even hurting, rather than risking to navigate alone in the new. The task of a therapist, a coach, a trainer, or a spiritual master is to push you more or less gently according to the different schools in the growth zone, which is the next zone. In the growth zone, everything is new. It is unknown. So maybe it's a little bit scary, but it is also exciting. Obviously, how far we go has to be adapted to each person. Managing your own change is a rather difficult thing. Often trying to go too far, one ends up in a panic zone. What's happened in the panic zone? This change was too much for the moment or in general. One must either be patient and be able to calm down and return to the growth zone, or reduce the extent of the change. This happens when there is someone on the outside who is monitoring your change, and what usually happens alone is that you simply remain in the comfort zone. Maybe a new goal is proposed. You surely know this when you try in your diet, when you to quit smoking or abandon some addiction or some habit. You stay motivated for a while, and then either you stay constant in the level of transformation without growing and improving your life again, or you go back to the old patterns of life that you had. Let's immediately connect with the second reason why there is a need for an external person to help or facilitate change, and that is the feedback. When you are trying to change on your own, of course, you see things from your own perspective as it should be. An external and competent person is able to give you another perspective. This other perspective will make you understand the differences, for example, between an almost objective observation and your beliefs. By this, of course, I don't mean that a trainer, a therapist, or a teacher are objective people. I simply want to tell you that two looks in the same direction give a greater approximation to reality than obviously that of just one person. Feedback can also be harsh, and obviously, as we said before, it can lead to going into the panic zone, or if the feedback has been right to extend, into the growth zone. It is very difficult, if not impossible, to give yourself feedback. You will have seen that in your work. Constructive criticism is very important and precious, and can only come from a person who is not directly involved in the facts, as an external person can be. The third reason is very similar to that of the feedback, and it is we only grow in relationship. What does it mean? It means that one of the reasons that stop change and growth is that we no longer really enter into a relationship with others, but we enter into relationship with fixed rules. These rules are repeated often from childhood or early adolescence, in which beliefs are crystallized. If you have been married several times, you will have seen this mechanism often. You change the wife or the husband, but the role that they essentially take in your life is the same. When you go in a therapeutic relationship or a master disciple relationship regarding spirituality, we have another type of relationship. Hardly an expert therapist, an expert coach will get stuck in your belief and can give you a real feedback of another kind. There is a more truthful relationship where you can analyze the difference between your belief, your compulsion to repeat, the patterns you repeat, the existential schema you repeat, and any other type. The feedback of a person may seem to play your game in order to let you analyze and see what you are creating and what type of loops you enter in life and search above all through awareness, but then also actively try to transform them. This type of relationship is priceless for the simple fact that in other contexts, a relationship as opposite to a friendship relationship, a work relationship, or even a sentimental one, the therapist, coach, teacher should not be interested. So he or she should give you a form of disinterested love, which is precisely the one that should be closer than anything else to maternal and paternal love. An ideal situation, almost none of us have completely had of unconditional love. This, together with the analysis and reconstruction of one's own models of life, this new experience of disinterested love is precisely what will lead to making new experiences, emotionally, also cognitively, and therefore mentally. You understand that a relationship, as therapeutic, as professional as it can be, is always a relationship. So there are feelings at stake on both sides, and those feelings would not always be positive. You can argue with each other, you may not understand, and the most important thing is, as far as I'm concerned, to maintain the relationship over time in order to see what's happened if you go beyond your beliefs, beyond your strategies, if you can rewrite the history, so to speak. In other way, obviously, no one can change the past. But through living in the present, everyone can change their future. That was all. I thank you. If you work with us, I hope this review was useful for you. If you want to support us for the creation of new material, all information can be found in the comment. If you want to work with us, visit our website. Link is also in the comments. 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗃.de. By default, it's going German because we are in Berlin, but you can of course change the language. Do you want to receive the videos by email? Subscribe to the newsletter and the channel. We also have a Facebook group where we exchange ideas. I thank you for your attention. Namaste.